Hi, my name is Ernie Mancilla. I'm part of the ELT program at Autonomous University here in Talca. Today, as part of his program, me and my classmates will interview a native from Canada. But why? Because we want to know more about this beautiful country. In the interview, we will ask some questions about education, transportation, and leisure activities. So let's go and see who is this native and if we could get some answers.
Hi,
Hi.
I am Matias. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
The first of all, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Carolina. I come from Canada. I'm 37 years old. I have been in Chile for 12 years, and I do miss home.
Okay. Where in Canada did you live?
I lived in a few places, but mostly in the countryside. I grew up in a small town that was Berkeley. It was called Berkeley. It was only a few farms. But as I was a teenager, I lived in Toronto, in the big city, capital city.
Okay. Do you like your city, the small one?
Yes, I miss both. I really love my small town where I came from. I love my small town because it was very quiet, extremely traditional. People were very respectful. There was too much snow. And I also miss Canada. I love Toronto, because it is a very big, busy city, but you don't feel the stress of the big city such as you do in Santiago, for example.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Ernie. What is your favorite place in your city?
My favorite place in the city that I grew up, or in Toronto?
In the city, where do you live?
Where I grew up. Okay. I guess the town where I used to visit was called Markdale. And Markdale, my favorite place was a little shop where they had special kinds of desserts that were European style. They were called delicatessens. And that was my favorite shop, my favorite place. It was a nice coffee shop, a good place to go with your family and enjoy some time and a conversation.
Hi, I'm Camila. Did you study in Canada?
Yes, I studied in Canada. I did all of my elementary school, and I finished my high school in Canada, because I did do a little bit of high school here in Chile. But university or college, I never got around to going to university or college in Canada because I had a very good job. Where basically they waited for me to finish high school to ascend me to a higher position.
What's the education like there?
Well, very different to here. The education system is extremely different. To compare, I don't know where to start, honestly.
For example,
But I feel that children are more taught to be creative, to use imagination, to be themselves. They are really motivated to do all of these kinds of things, to be children. Rather than here, I feel that you're training robots.
of education is the best, public or private?
There are not private schools are not that big in Canada. Because the public education it's a solid education. It's very good, and that's the one that's free. Private education, it does exist. Some people opt to it, but I don't think it's a lot better. It's almost the same. Yeah, it's almost the same.
What's happen if you fail a grade?
If you fail a grade, you fail. You repeat it.
Does affect you?
It could, but it really depends on, I guess, the support you have from home. But usually, students are well motivated. For example, if you fail a grade, you must repeat it. They do offer you summer school so that you can maybe not fail it. But a lot of parents or children opt to just repeat the year. And if they see that you need extra help, they will have a special tutor with you in class to help you, to make sure you don't fail again.
So we know that in Canada, people speak French and English.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to know if you speak French.
I used to be able to speak French, but I haven't tried to speak for a long time, so I don't know if I can remember. I could probably remember small phrases or small things.
And how did you learn French?
In school, it is an obligation to learn French. It is mandatory that we have French class in school because it's a bilingual country.
Okay, but most of the people speak English.
In Ontario, yes, depending on what part of Canada you're in. For example, in Quebec, the majority speak French because that is the French part of Canada.
In Canada, does the public transport always arrive at time?
Yes.
So it's very different.
It's completely reliable. The other wonderful thing that public transportation has in Canada is, well, everybody has a phone line at home where you can call and you can ask what time the bus is going to be at this bus stop, and it will be there at that time. So,
That's nice.
yeah.
Okay, and we know that there you have like a pass
Mm-hmm.
for public transport.
Yes.
Does it allow you to travel as many times as?
To be honest, I am not familiar with it because I never used it. I do know that it exists. I have seen the pass, but I never used it, so I'm not familiar with all of the rules that it has.
Okay. What is the Remembrance Day?
Ooh, Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day has to do with remembering all of the people we lost in war. And on Remembrance Day, which is the 11th day of the 11th month, so November, and at 11 o'clock we have a minute of silence. And this is everywhere. I remember in school we would always go for Remembrance Day into the gymnasium, and we would remember them. We would see pictures of the war, of the, all of the men that were lost, men and women that were lost. And we have a moment of silence for them.
What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas. I really miss Christmas in Canada. The environment in Canada for Christmas it's like watching a movie, basically. People are very kind, they're full of Christmas spirit. Everything's white with snow. There are lights everywhere. And because it's so cold and dark very early because it's winter, those nice lights decoration lights in the houses, they give you a warmth inside that it's just not the same in other countries.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. We want to thank you for your disposition to answer our questions, and it's always nice to know some more about other countries. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for choosing me, I guess.